Like, because I assume that all life generally has a, like, all life in the universe probably has some form of war on their planet. Because, I mean, I do assume that there is life on other planets. Just because the universe is so big, it's, like, to me, if, you know, anything is infinitely big, it doesn't make any sense for that not to be the case. Holy cow, you are... You know, like, it doesn't make sense for there not to be, essentially, because, I mean, somewhere... I'm not saying we'll ever discover, you know, other life, but I'm saying, like, you know, it's quite possible to me. You just fragged out, you motherfucker. Like, to me, that's, you know, how my logic works. Yours may not work the same way. Understandable if it doesn't. But, yes. Back to the main thing that I was just saying. Let's see where I'm going with, like, the not being organized thing. Saying, like, all life, I'm sure, has some form of war, you know? Oh, what? You yelling? Oh, cool. You guys are friendlies. I got some of my guys over here. But, like, all life forms have some form of war. And I don't understand how... Like, I assume that they think just as logically, if not more logically than us. To the extent of, like... What are we supposed to be doing here? To the extent of... Like, okay, war doesn't benefit, you know, us as much, you know, as, you know, anything else. You know, where it's like... If we just went to war with another planet for the sole reason of them being another planet, and we want, I don't know, I'm assuming if we did go to war, it would be because we wanted their resources. Which, I mean, I don't find a lot of sense in, because it's like, you know, if I was a, you know, leader here, I'd be like, hey, you know, Earth has plenty of resources. If we just, you know, just are nice about it and we share... Which I don't understand why we don't do when you are there. Okay, good. There's not a frag attached to you. Nobody kills my buddy but me, sir. Thank you. I almost died there, and that would have been an epic fail. And if you didn't realize, that was a quote. That was a Borderlands quote. I can do those. It's like, nobody kills my buddy but me. But, I don't know. Anyway. On the talk of, like, peace and stuff, it's like, I think that's... I mean, if we won't ever have world peace. I don't think that's ever going to happen unless we discover life outside of Earth. And let me explain to you, like, how that works for me. Because it's like, the only reason we have war on Earth right now is because we divide ourselves. I mean, we're all humans. We're all essentially the same. But for whatever reason, we divide ourselves. We say, okay, well, I'm over here. I'm over here. And because of that, ooh... Because of that, I'm gonna, you know, do this. Which, I mean, whether or not you agree with that, that's how it happens. I mean, whether or not, you know, you like that, you know, how war works, that's how it works. And, again, I don't agree with it. I don't, you know, I don't like war, obviously. I mean, obviously, in some cases it's necessary, in some cases it's not, but usually it's not, I'll just say. Boom! Noob tube. But, that was awesome. But back on the thing that I was saying. Can I assassinate you? No, I can't. We fight with each other for, like, no reason. And there are small scale and large scale fights. Like, the largest scale would be like, you know, I'm this country, you're this country. You know, like, I'm America, you're Russia. You have this thing that I want, you have oil or whatever, and I want oil, so I'm going to come over there and kill you until you give me oil. Like, I'm not saying that's always the case you know, I'm not saying that's always a reason for war, but, you know, it is a reason. I mean, wouldn't be the first time that countries have gone into war over oil. But, furthermore, there are also smaller scales of that, you know, where it's like, okay, well, I go to school over here, you know, I'm in this district, and you're in this district, so now our schools are going to have a rivalry, you know, like that kind of thing happens. And, I mean, you know, you can have a friendly rivalry, but it doesn't change the fact that the only reason you're having that said rivalry is because of, you know, you separate yourselves, and it's a mental thing, you know, it's like, if we just said, okay, for, you know, like the two I'm gonna die. For the two schools example, you know, if they, instead of saying, okay, well, I'm this school, you're this school, if we just said, okay, well, we're all in the same state, so we should just be nice to each other for that reason, then you know what? They wouldn't have that rivalry, which, and again, it could be healthy, could be unhealthy, I don't know. Like, people tend to take rivalries too far, in my experience, but that's, you know, matter of opinion. Like, and if you look on a larger scale, like, there's some, you know, I know New Mexico and Arizona, where it's like, a lot of New Mexicans have problems with, or not a lot, but I'm saying a handful of New Mexicans have a problem with, I forgot if it's like New Mexico or Arizona or like Texas or whatever, where it's like, oh, you're stealing our water. And I don't understand that, you know, very much at all, because it's like, we're all, you know, if you think about it, we're all American. We all, you know, should have water. I don't understand why, you know, the imaginary line that says, okay, well, you're New Mexico, you're Texas. I don't understand why that imaginary line creates such an argument. If that makes sense, which I hope it does. Because, you know, again, we're all Americans. We all should have water. There's no reason for you to get mad at you just because they have water that was originally in your aquifer. I mean, you have no... It's like, unless you put the water in the aquifer, which nobody can do, nobody has the ability to do, then you know what? It's not your water. It is, you know, America's water, if anything, because it's in America. And again, America is just a name for a place that's, you know, people conquered, or, you know, if you want to be literal about it, stole. So, I mean, you know, you really shouldn't have these petty arguments over, like, whose water is whose, because it's like, either way, we all have a virtually limitless supply of fresh, clean drinking water, so I don't understand why you are going to get mad at this guy. This is what I'm talking about. See, soldier clearance, this is what I mean. For having water. And back to the original point, I don't think we're ever going to have world peace unless, you're a teammate, unless, do we have weapons over here? We don't. I think there's some up here. But if we have, am I able to get in this door? I think I can. No, I can't, apparently. But, like, where we're never going to have world peace. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. We're never going to have world peace unless, is there a map where it'll tell me where the door is that I can go through, or whatever. Whatever. We're never going to have world peace because unless we stop dividing ourselves, which we aren't going to do unless we find a larger scale to look at, you know, because it's like, this country, oh, fuck yeah, shotgun rain. This country gets mad at this country for, you know, liking this thing, or not, you know, for, just because they're in a different place, you know, this country dislikes this country for that reason. This state dislikes this state for that reason, and they're all seemingly useless reasons. Like, you know, if you just think, okay, well, instead of saying, I'm America, you're Russia, we can say, okay, well, we're all Earth, you know? There's no reason to get upset over seemingly, you know, I mean, we are all humans, we all deserve some quality of life, you know, and so it's like, why are we going to go to war over crap whenever we could just share and be happy? Which, I mean, obviously that logic makes no sense to politicians and everyone, because essentially war, from what I understand, is pretty much there to stimulate the economy, which can be arguable. I mean, you can say, I mean, oh no, we're there for, you know, protection or whatever, but I mean, like, one thing, I don't understand why we have to go to other countries to protect our country. You know, I mean, if you want to be there to gather intelligence, you know, say it's gathering intelligence. Don't say, you know, we gotta protect our country by essentially invading theirs. And I don't know, that's one way to put it that is probably controversial and I shouldn't talk about, but oh lord, no, he fragged out. He fragged out. It's time for shotgun rain. But yeah, I, you know, don't know how else to essentially bring this up. What the fuck? There we go. Because it's like, we're never gonna have peace unless we can all essentially agree that we are all the same, and that is beyond certain people. And you know, I think that the only event that will ever happen, damn it, is if we essentially find another planet to get mad at, which, you know, I'm not going to say is a good or bad thing. I'm just, you know, I'm saying we will have peace on Earth whenever we can look at things from a larger scale and say, oh, yeah, well, Extra Peridian Prime planet number 12 over here, they have this thing, you know, I don't know. I don't know. If we just look at things from a larger scale and say, like, hey, you know what, we're all human, there's no reason to fight. That's how I look at that. That's how I look at world peace, and I realize it sounds really stupid to some people, and I'm just a, you know, I'm just a kid talking about world peace that I know nothing about, which, you know, to an extent is true. I know nothing about politics or world peace or anything, so to an extent could be true. But I would like to think of myself as at least kind of educated on the matter. I mean, obviously I don't know a lot about world peace or anything, but I, you know, I would like to think I have enough logic in me to, oh crap, to you know, have some idea of what I'm talking about, where it's like, you know, I'm not completely idiot, you know, like I may not know exactly what I'm talking about like crazy, you know, I may not be really educated on the matter, but I do at least have some form of, holy shit, there's a guy right there. Excuse my language, please, but that holy cow, you are a husky fella. Oh yeah, that was not very good. Anyway, yeah, I'm never, you know, I'm never gonna say like, oh, I'm so smart about blah 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 blah, because I don't think I am. There are definitely people who are a lot more educated on stuff like that than me, and I do not claim to be a visionary or anything. So I mean, that's just like my little spiel about it. Take it as you will. Nobody's making you agree with me by any means whatsoever. Nobody you know, is making you agree with me. Nobody's even making you listen to this. You know, if you disagree with me about anything, not just like what I just said, I'm saying if you disagree with me, period, feel free to tell me about it. Oh, that's my health bar. That is not. Find a health pack. That would be a good idea, you stupid game. That would be a good idea if I could find a health pack. Yeah, maybe I'll have to lower the difficulty. Oh, wow, my health regenerated. Okay, guess we found a health pack. I'll take it. But you're a dumbass. Why would you put a shield here, you friggin' retard? There we go. Okay, cool. Shield's gone. Not helpful to me. But yeah, I mean, that is what it is, you know. I mean, I'll say what I want, and you know, I'll respect your opinion if you want to say what you want, and we can all just be happy, because that's what's great about the world, is that we can all just have opinions, and whether or not your culture deems them appropriate or not, you can have them, and nobody can take those from you. I mean, they can tell you you can't have that opinion. They can get mad at you if you have that opinion. But overall, you know, you can't really change what somebody thinks. Like, this is kind of the reverse of, you know, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can give a horse some rules, but you can't make him think. If that makes sense. God damn it! I'm lowering the difficulty. Settings, I don't know how, so I guess we'll just say normal. Because I'm a little not very good at games. I'm not the best at games. Never said I was. Never said, you know, I never will say I am the best at games. Because I am not the best at games by any definition. You know, I mean, like, maybe compared to somebody who's never played games before, I'm pretty good, but, you know, from my understanding, compared to other people who probably play this game, get through this part in like 2 minutes, I'm not very good, you know, and I'm fine with that. I've never, you know, felt like I needed to be good at games. You know, it's not like I need to be good at games to feel good about myself. I don't really care, and I realize, you know, there's some people who are like that, who are just, you know, like they have to be good at games or else they essentially lose what they live for, which I don't understand. You know, I mean, everybody has a thing. You know, being good at games, if you're one of those MLG people, you know, I'm not gonna stop you from doing that. I mean, I'm not one of those people, you know. Kind of goes into what I said about my, you know, homosexual marriage thing, which, you know, may or may not be uploaded at the same time as this, yeah, my mom just got home, and that's that, and I just died another time. So, I guess we will be leaving this place. Next time we'll try to get back here and do whatever. So, I gotta do some stuff or whatever. So, goodbye for now. I'll miss you. This is longer than I wanted to anyway, so goodbye.